What do you do if you're dealing with high levels of anxiety, depression, and stress all at the same time? How do you transition from feeling that things are out of control to feeling that you are in control? A sense of control is often critical to anxiety management, and depression often arises from a persistent feeling of loss, as if life is beating you down and you can't win, all of which may arise from stress. One good thing about anxiety is that it is one of the more practically treatable mental health conditions, and this, in part, hinges on acceptance versus change principles, and is in some ways like moving a grain of sand at a time from a pile. As the old saying, or Sorites paradox, goes, how many grains do you have to remove from a pile of sand until it is no longer a pile of sand? Initially, moving a few grains of sand seems to make no difference. The pile looks the same, but over time it starts to diminish and you are encouraged by the progress you see. So when you feel overwhelmed by multiple emotions, know that by starting with anxiety, you can begin to cut into the depression and other feelings too, partially because within depression are often feelings of helplessness, hopelessness, and futility, but by taking control, those start to break down too. To start, you can write out the issues you're currently dealing with and divide them into two parts: things you can control and things you cannot. You have to be honest about the part you cannot control, though, because if you can do something about the problem, you should. But of course, many things are out of our control in life. Things you can control are things you can start to take action on, even if they are tiny steps, like moving a grain of sand at a time. This is important because anxiety and stress are wasted on things we have no control over. Worrying won't change them. And the only way you can find peace with that is by taking a deep breath and accepting that it is so. It just is what it is. And even in this case, we still have the paradox of control, because while you can't change the circumstances, you can control your attitude towards them. Then, by focusing on the change part, you tackle the most manageable of your list of change items and just start doing something, no matter how small. If what you do is effective, and if you are persistent, your pile of sand will slowly disappear one grain at a time. The most important takeaway here is not the number of things that you are tackling, but the mindset that you are in control of things that you can change, and even in the face of unchangeable, you are in control of your attitude about it. And that is empowering and encouraging, and will ultimately break down both anxiety and depression.